Hello there, my name is Jordan Leroy Hansen, also known as LeDev, and I'm starting off with a new series which I call Design Around a Card, which in Hearthstone, also I'm going to do in an MTG Arena around. I'm going to look at a card specifically that either I underrate or overrate, and try to brew the deck either around it. Now, usually in deck design, you don't want to brew your card entirely around one card, but I like to test to see one card specific interaction with specific deck archetypes and such. And the one card that's actually been seen success rate in, at least if we're taking hard pwn statistics for granted, Soul Infusion. Yeah, the card that I thought was not really that great turns out actually to be an alright card for what people are saying, or at least if we're taking the stats itself. Now, personally, I think the reason why the stats are manipulated such because this is a card that's in the Whizbane starter decks that are you can get when you play Whizbane. And I think many people have been trying to meme up rank with Whizbane, and I think that's the reason why the stat introduction of this. But I decided for the sake of this brewing session, we're going to give this card a shot. For the record, Soul Infusion, we give the leftmost minion in our hand +2/+2. So obviously, we want to put this in a deck where it's kind of, we take benefit of minions getting stat buffs. So, right off the bat, I see it beneficial in, most likely, a Zoolock deck. So, obviously, we'll take the Zoolock staples, such as Flame Imp. That's a good one-drop. Let's see, we have our Voidwalker. That's a good one-drop. Also, Solarium might actually be really good in this deck, because many people have been saying in Zoo decks, Solarium's amazing, so we're going to give that a shot. Gold Librarian, not bad as well, as a draw engine. What else? Well, if we're playing a Zoo deck, we can also toy with the concept of, let's see. Vocal Homunculus as a free 5 taunt is for 2 mana is not bad. I do like doubling him. I do like Vocal Homunculus. I'm going to put Gnome Feratu in the deck because we are seeing a lot of combo-centric decks, especially with the likes of Mecha Cafoon, so we'll just put that in as a tech option. It's not absolutely necessary. Though, on the other side of the coin, you know, actually, if this is going to be a totally stat buff deck, actually, I changed my mind. We're going to take these out, and then we're going to go get our one peculiarly annoying friend, Prince Keliseth. Makes sense in this deck archetype. We're giving all of our minions a stat buff, which is beneficial to our overall deck design. Now, we're going to not have 2 drops, which is not great, but we could probably just replace it with a bunch of 1 and just complementing drops to help benefit the stats. Like, for example, Serenite Chain Gain would benefit very well with a stat buff. And we just got to think of other ones. Probably put in a Spellbreaker, 2 Spellbreakers for tech. Decent stats, but the silence effect is actually where we're going for with this. Doesn't affect the darkness. Weaponized Pinata. Nah, that wouldn't work. I was thinking about something being cute with this one and actually making it where it adds a minion to your hand. But the thing is, as this card says, it adds to the leftmost minion. So it has to be a minion that's currently was previously in the hand. Anytime when a card gets added to your hand with card effects like that, they go to your right part of your hand. So, nah. Diamol, maybe. I think I'll take the Crystallizer, actually. Because then, even though it is a Zoo deck, we could still have a recovery option, just in case if we turn out not to be the aggressor deck with Lesser Animus' Spell Zone. I like that. Okay, so Omega Agent might actually be really good in this because chances are we're going to leave this in our hand until we get to the 10 mana crystals, and it with Soul Infusion, including a Prince Keliseth buff, would be kind of absurd. So yeah, Omega Agent, I think you're going to have a shot at this. Okay. Tar Creeper? Meh. A little too high cost. I think Omega Agent should be our top end for this deck. But it's a thought. It is a legitimate thought on that one. Anything else? With Zoo decks, you don't really want to go too high in the mana. Is Bloodleaver Gudon decent in this deck? Let's see. Will we bring back our Flame Imps? Would we bring back our Voidwalkers? Will we bring back our Doubling Imps, which then will be 2 Doubling Imps, so that's 4... That's 4 Doubling Imps, 5, 6, 7, 8. As long as we don't put any more demons in, this is a thought. Just in case if we do inevitably have to go to the late game because our aggro strategy doesn't work. You never really want to brew your deck around the presumption that your deck's not going to work. But it's a thought. It's a legitimate thought there. I also like Demon Fire in this deck since the majority of our stuff are demons, so we can buff it. Well, and it also works as a semi-removal spell. Then... Is ever Ratcatcher ever good? I don't think so. It's a thought, but I don't think so. Doesn't really get the stat buff, but it does get the stat buff in hand, and that might actually be significant if we have stuff like... If that gets Soul Infusion, that could be absurd. We'll put that on the maybe list. I'm first going to look at all my neutral options again and just see if there's anything that's great in a zoo-like deck. Firefly is definitely not bad. Glacial Shard, certain circumstances, that card can be decent. Knife Juggler, we're not really a... While it does synergize with Doubling Imp and also Serenite Chain Gain, I think we can't get that card out when we have to synergize with it. Usually with Zoo Warlock decks, you kind of want to play your minions as soon as possible. We're not kind of like going for combo-centric, oh, if I can get this one card and this one other card, I'll be great. Still adds to the right part of your hand, so no. Though I do have to admit, the foil on this is actually really nice. He's flying! Woo! And, okay, the foil on this is actually really cute, but we're getting sidetracked here. Okay. Volatile Elemental. Nah. 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 You could make an argument for Devil Solar Egg. You could make an argument. Electrolyte. How many spells do we have in this deck? We have about 1, 2, 3, about 5. So Electrolyte, even with the stat boost, is not really that great. Kaboom Bot is a thought. Mindbreaker is interesting since there are a lot of decks that are trying to rely on their hero power synergies. And the stats in itself will be decent, but that will come at the cost of us not being able to draw very significantly. No, I think I'll skip on that. It was a tempting thought, but how many free drops? We don't have that many free drops. I'm going to put in the Nightmare Amalgam. That seems kind of question-worthy at the moment. The main reason why I'm thinking of it is with Demon Fire. We can actually put this on turn 3 and then turn 4, Demon Fire it to actually do a significant trade with stuff. Plus, then that allows us to put some more peculiar synergies in the deck. Tar Creeper is kind of a no-brainer in this list. Yeah, Vicious Fledgling. And I think that will be our deck after that, because Vicious Fledgling, with both a stat boost and from Plinth Kalisteth and potentially Soul Infusion, this card can be absurd. Okay, our first iteration of Zulak. Or, actually, no, we need to make something Soul Luck. We'll go with that, since it does rely on the Soul Infusion shenanigans. Okay, Badoo. Badoo. Let us do our first test of Soul Luck in Constructed. And hope we don't get our butts beat. Let the experiment commence right now. And I actually don't mind playing this deck because I actually really adore kind of like Zoolock style decks. That's kind of why Warlock is my favorite class. It's not really for the control shenanigans. It's because you can actually get away with some decent Zoo type archetypes in this deck, especially when you have the card draw engine as your hero power. But we are going to face some shenanigans if this is the dreaded... If this is Odd Paladin, we're going to be in trouble. Statistically speaking, we're at rank 17, so I think I shouldn't be, as the phrase goes, presuming anything less. Yep, it's Odd Paladin. But at least we have a turn. Okay. Now, generally in Hearthstone logic, they say you don't use the coin right off the bat. However, we just now increased our win percentage pretty significantly just because of the stat boost. So, plus we have a turn 2 play of a Kobold Librarian and Flame Imp, so that's what kind of encouraged me to do that without a sweat. Soul Infusion. You know, on a Tar Creeper, that's actually nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Okay, this will be interesting to see on turn 3. Okay, Soul Infusion, you're impressing me so far. But let's see what he does. Okay, he gives his minions Taunt, which... annoying, but not relevant at the moment. Okay, opponent. Let's see how you deal with a 3/7 Tar Creeper. Okay, Soul Infusion. A card that I may have underestimated. But if he has any Silence Tech in his deck archetype, which is a possibility, specifically if he has Hoot Hoot, we are still in trouble. But we can at least develop kind of a wall kind of scenario. So yeah, this screams the mech Odd Paladin that's been seen about. I still want to go into here. I think I'm gonna draw. And yeah, we just want to build up a board base. I will say this, I like the design of this card, but the battle cry noise is a teeny little bit annoying. Maybe intentionally designed, but yes, I do appreciate the joke that's like, stop copying me, stop copying me. But I don't know, I find the voice a little obnoxious. So yeah, now what he's probably going to do is either a Fungomancer or try to build up on his mech to try to make it work and go against this. Oh boy, that was not a bad play, but that play is always one I always am very cautious about. And it's not bad, don't get me wrong. It was actually a pretty good play, all things considered, but still, after all these years, when I thought you being nerfed actually means that I didn't have to deal with you anymore. But we're not totally hopeless at the moment. We have choices. We can either play out the Serenite Chain Gang. Well, we can trade into one of these first. We can either play the Serenite Chain Gang, or we can play the Tar Creeper and Hero Power. The thing is, I know he's just going to do Fungomancer, is the potential statistical possibility, so he's going to trade in this without a sweat. This is a lot more peculiarly hard to trade in, especially with the split up stats. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that route. That way, he's going to play his... Perfect, so he doesn't want to go aggressive just yet, since this is really awkward for him. Now, yes, we still have to deal with kind of like this guy. Now, you're wondering why I didn't put this in the deck, because it's like, oh, ain't this obvious? Remember, the Annoytrons don't get the stat boost. It's this that gets the stat boost, which, a 4-mana 4/3 that summons 2 taunts? Not bad in theory, but in execution, it's nothing to write home about. Gonna draw a card. Gonna do this. Gonna play here. Going to play that. There we go. That way this gets the significant stat boost. Because we're definitely going to have to do a big tempo recover here because he's just going to Funkomancer. Or just play that. It's... Not the end of the world just yet, but we are definitely in a peculiar set of circumstances. That's actually interesting. Let's try this. So now we have an upgraded version of that, but I think at the moment we're just going to do that. Oh boy, this does not look good. Maybe we need to consider putting board wipes in our deck. I usually don't like to do it in Zoolock decks, but I need to remember we are in an odd paladin meta, so we'll go back to the lab brewing process once this match is over and probably just cut something out for a Hellfire or Defile. Even though it's not the funnest tech card to put in. Do we even have a chance? 1, 2. Yeah, we're going back to drawing board. Okay. Yeah, I need to remember, we're in a meta where board wipes are still something you need, so we'll go back to Soul Lock. And we have choices. We could either A, put in Defile, which the benefit it has is it's cheap, but it does come at the cost of sometimes it in peculiar board states, it's not that great. Defile, in general, is just an all-around decent spell. We'll definitely take out the Amalgam, since that was kind of a dead card. And yeah, I think spot removal is not necessary. I think we should go with both the Defile and Hellfire package. We don't use them unless it's absolutely necessary, but we might just need that in this current meta. It's very wide-centric meta. You're either going very wide aggro-style mid-range deck, or you're going into some combo-centric shenanigans. Overall, though, I do think my favorite deck I was able to brew in this expansion was probably Death Rattle Rogue, which I'll probably make a video of that inevitably, but there's one version that a professional Hearthstone player actually was able to get to the League 1 Legend with. I'm forgetting his name right off the bat, but I really like the list he made. I did a few tweets of it to make it a little bit more jankier, which does make it less consistent. Yeah, we know. But I do kind of like what I got up with it. Is there ever a way to justify Solarium in your starting hand? I think the answer is no. Okay, so either he's playing the Mechathon Control Warlock deck, or he's playing the other Zoo deck, which I don't mind, is the... Oh, I'm having a brain fart on the name of it. The Healing Lock, I think is what it's nicknamed. Essentially what happens is you deal damage to yourself, and then you heal yourself a little bit with cards like the Voodoo Priest or... Nope, he's playing a Zoolock deck too of some sort. Now, this doesn't mean he's not absolutely playing our deck. It could just mean he's playing a version of his deck. But still, he's going to have a hard time answering to a free mana 5/5 Vicious Fledgling, so I'm curious to see how he's going to answer it. Okay, that's a good answer. I'm not gonna lie. Interesting. Yeah, we don't play this right off the bat. I mean, we could and just quote unquote encourage the trade, but that doesn't feel good. I think we just take it. We're gonna be dealt 5 damage, which will stink, but we have a way to recover, so it's not the end of the world. So yeah, he's going to heal. So yeah, Soul Infusion on this card is absurd. And potentially on this card, it can be ridiculously absurd when we get to a point that we can play it. But for now, we're going to take care of that because that card, we can't answer it in our current iteration of our deck, so best case scenario, he plays something like Doubling Imp and such, and then we could Defile and yeah, he's playing the heal lock variation. A top-decked Hellfire would be amazing. Well, we're going on the defensive. This may seem question marky, but I'm trying to make it where he has to trade, and hopefully with his trades we get into a Defile-like position to answer with Defile. He might be relevant of that, so he might try to make it where the trades are not answerable to Defile. So that's a possibility. Still, that's good for us. Because we can Defile. And we can see if he can answer to this. Because a 5/5 Vicious Fledgling is nothing to sneeze at. Chances are he's going to play a Tar Creeper or a Selenite Chain Gain of his own. Or he's just going to hit me for the face. Makes sense. He's... Oi. I mean, that was a top deck. Stop copying me! Okay. The thing is, he still has Solarium in this deck design, as well as I have Solarium in my deck design. So it's safe to say this game is not over just yet. What is he Soul Infusion? Well, it's either he can't play it now, or he's trying to decide whether or not it's worthwhile to play it. But it's just... Yeah, Soul Infusion is a card that I probably had underestimated. I figured, my original logic when I was reviewing the card is I figured that it was more wanting to see play in a combo deck of some sort, but I figured your hand placement was not going to be consistent enough to get away with it. Oh, there we go. Sorry for the reconnection issue there. Yeah, no. And I don't really want to play Crystallizer until I have a Spellstone in hand. Oh, hey, and we won. But yeah, if I didn't have the silence answer there, I would have been screwed. Okay, is there any way we want to edit the deck? I think I'll do one more edit, and I'll call this what I like to do. I'll do this always 2 times. The practical edit, and then I'm going to do what's the silly edit. Silly edit means let's test something that seems ridiculously impractical in the deck, but it's an interesting experiment, so... You know, Omega Agent was the more practical option. I think I'm going to do it like, cut out the Omega Agents, put in Doom Guards, because let's actually try Ectomancy out. I was originally down on the card as well, but I kind of want to give it a shot. I think we can take out Crystallizer since it's not been doing that much great to us, and we still have significant amount of 1-drops. And we do have enough demons that Ectomancy might actually be relevant here, so let's actually give it a shot. Okay, our silly iteration of Soul Lock with Ectomancy coming right up. So yeah, once we're done with this, I do want to see if you guys like this type of format where I kind of go and first make my first iteration of the deck, and then I make a practical iteration, and then I do a silly iteration. If you guys like that, please leave it in the comments below or such, or if you think there are other ways that I can do this type of deck tech videos. It's just I kind of want to try to find a unique way of doing these type of videos without being just, oh, here's this deck. Let's see if we win a lot of games or if we lose a lot of games. Because I kind of want to try something out. Okay. You know what? This will be the first... I will take Serenite Chain Gain out. This will be the first time we're going to try to keep Solarium main hand. And just see if keeping it in main hand actually is practical. Let us experiment. Though, seriously, this is a great card in any Zoo style of decks in Warlock. Anyway, let's do our turn 1 play that makes him think we're healing Warlock. But honestly, we're just doing it just to power up this little guy. Okay, so he's on a defensive. If he's playing backstop, he might be actually playing that deck I was mentioning earlier that I really liked, which is the Death Rattle Warlock. It's actually legitimately a fun design one. We don't really have anything to play. And I kind of want to see what he's doing. Chances are he's going to play either a Dino Egg, if this is the deck I think it is. Not yet. So I think the best play here is just to play this, coin, and then put the Tar Creeper in front of it. That way we still have an aggressive option. And if he plays something big, we can just trade in, like if he plays Dino Egg here, we can trade in with the Imp and then just destroy the Dino with Spellstone. Yep, I know for sure now he's playing the Death Rattle Warlock. There's not many decks that play both Backstab and Sap within that iteration. So chances are now he's going to play Cavern Shiny Finder, or a removal spell of sorts. So, yeah, we just still... Okay. I think this is a Solarium turn once we play this, since all these are tech cards. Wait, what? Oh, is this the Academy? Is this the Academy deck? Is this the Academy gimmick deck? Okay, I'm curious. But first, let's be practical here. We're going to Solarium. Nope. Nope. Oi. That feels really bad. Okay. Now I see why people don't play Ectomancy in decks, or at least really high-cost spells in decks like this. Maybe I should save Soulmancer for, like, scenarios where it's just, like, a very small hand. But still, that feels bad. Oi, oi, oi. That feels really bad. Yep. I agree with your assessment there, good sir. Huh. However, yeah, I mean, realistically, it would be awesome if we could Doomguard this turn and then just go in for the offensive and then hopefully play Ectomancy next turn, but but that's still a risk. I think the value we just get from here, just having the Flame Imp and an extra shield, especially against the army of spooters, just, as the phrase goes, gets the job done. So yeah, we're gonna face the spooters. We got an army of spooters. So now he's probably gonna play Augmented Elic and then Academic Espionage, if I have to make a guess. Or maybe he plays some more spooters. It could be anything. Still, somebody playing Mild Unstable Element, unironically. So yeah, he realizes that he's on the ropes kind of scenario. We might have potential lethal here. Let's do some math. So we have 3, 4, 5, 10 here. Nah, we don't have lethal just yet. Close, but not yet. Though that will do it. So, we go into face, we go into face, we go into face. We pass the turn. And let's see what his first 1-cost spell is for the game. Prep for... Oh, wow. Okay. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. Okay, now you're just being... Okay. I mean... Yeah, this is a peculiar set of circumstances, one would say. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Because... Yeah. Okay, we gotta do some math on this. Okay. Think, Mr. Brain, think. So we can deal, at most, 6 damage. We could also just do this when we deal 7 damage to that. That would be automatically 2. The Void Lord stuff that... I don't think this works the way I'm thinking it does, because I think it doesn't count the death rattles, but if this works the way I think it works, the only thing that should be left behind is the Cruel Dinomancer. Okay, so it does work like that. But I forgot about the Spooter being at that. So does he still have enough? So 4, 9, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, we definitely can't hero power in this circumstance. So many spooters. Okay, so let's think here. If we hero power, or if we do this, we will die. If we do this, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. We are off by 1 point of damage. I still think we have to do this, though. That way to get his board presence a lot less scary. But yeah, that's pretty much game. Because all he has to do is just... That was a really close game, actually. I mean, take a look. We were both at 1 health. That was a really close game. Okay, it turns out emptying your hand and doing the academic espionage strategy, not bad. Okay, I'm curious. Does he get a better Solarium than I do? Let's take a look. I can't be mad. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, so after all of that, What's my opinion on Soul Infusion, the card we brewed around? Honestly, from the times I was able to play with the card's not bad. I was kind of thought, like I said originally before, I thought the manipulation of this card was just due to the factor of the popularity of the Whizbane decks and this having into it. But in a Zoolock deck, even seeing Heal Zoolock actually manipulating that card, I mean, let's be frank, if we didn't have that silent spell break on that second game, we would have been potentially dead if he had any realm of healing tempo and such. So, okay. I guess if I ever make a top, like in the future, if I ever go around the realms of like other video producers and make the top 10 cards that I was not exactly accurate about when looking at the Boomsday expansion, this will definitely be on that list. Overall, though, I hope you all have a lovely day. Have fun doing your janky brews, and, well, I guess I gotta infuse a little bit more soul into my deck designs in the future. See y'all later. LevDev out.